Ricky does such a great job. So welcome once again to the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled. I am so happy that you are here today. I know that there are many people that are out celebrating. This is Pride Weekend in Palm Springs, and so there's the parade and the festival and all of the activities that are going on. But it's by no accident that you chose to be here this day. This is the right and perfect place for each and every one of us that has shown up this morning in this place and this time. And so for that, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we can go have lunch. No, wait a minute. I have a few more things to say. Yeah. Imagine. As Ricky mentioned, the title of the talk is about peace out of the 365 days for richer living. Imagine, if you will, that there is peace in the world. Imagine, if you will, that there is peace within your mind, your body, and your soul. Imagine, if you will, that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are filled with peace. Whole, perfect, and complete. How does that feel? Does that feel good?
Yes.
Is anyone that's having difficulty imagining peace? No, don't raise your hands. So, when we look out into the world, when we look at all of the news that's going on, when we read the papers or check the blogs or notice the individuals that are camping out in some place, or we see the story about some war, some disturbance, some discord that's happening someplace. I don't know about you, but in those moments, it becomes a little challenging for me to imagine peace in the world. Peace in all that's going on. So even though in that moment that we took here, that we were able to bring forth in our imagination, we were able to have a sense, even if just for a moment, we felt peace. It wasn't something that we could measure. It wasn't something that, wouldn't it be great if we could bottle it and market it? But that sense of peace is a feeling that we get. And right there in that moment, we could hold on to it. In that very moment, we could feel it and we could sense it. And then we move back into the mental part of our activity, into that, the brain functioning, into the intellect, and we start saying, well, yeah, it was okay for a moment, but, then I have to get on the freeway, or I have to stand in line at the supermarket, or I have to go take care of my bills, or look what's on the news, or my football team didn't win today, or, something ridiculous like that. And that sense, that feeling of peace evaporates. Where did it go? First of all, where did it come from? Imagination. It all begins in your imagination. If you can begin to imagine it, then the end result will be that you will manifest it and you will demonstrate it in your life, in the order of your affairs, in your mental capability, your physical capability, your spiritual capability, you'll be able to bring in that sense, that feeling of peace. You will be able to walk in the world, and this is what we do. We walk in the world. And in the world, there's a lot of activity going on. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not diligent with all of the activity that's bombarding us, when we walk in the world, we're going to find ourselves challenged, confronted, in discord, in disharmony, in dis-ease, because we're picking up on all of the other imaginations that are going on. Because we get lost in this idea that we think that we are only human beings. Have you heard that expression? Oh, excuse me, I'm only human. If we believe that, if we believe that we are only human, then the experience that we're going to have in this world is just a random act of something flying by, knocking us around, walking all over us, kicking us in the rear, bopping us on the head, doing whatever it desires to do because we believe we are only human. That's not the belief that I practice. That's not the principle that we are teaching here in this center, using the material that we call the science of mind. We declare that there is a higher truth, that who and what we really are spiritual beings having a human experience. That we are more of than just being in the world. We're not of the world. We're experiencing in the world, but first and foremost, we are spiritual beings. And through our nature, creative thought, imagination, thinking, whatever you want to label it or call it, we have the power and the presence within us, as us, is us, to co-create the experience that we want. If you want peace in your life, if you want peace in your mind, if you want peace in your body and in the body of your affairs, then you have to imagine it. You have to bring it forth into that creative thought that you have, and then you have to connect it with the emotion. You have to bring in that feeling, because nothing happens in the mind or the heart alone. It happens at that place where the mind and the heart intersect, where they become one. Where we take the thought and we take the feeling, we take the sensation, and we put those together in that oneness. And that's where we create from. That's the power and the presence within. It's not some being, some entity that's sitting out there on Mars or some distant galaxy. It is right here, right now, within you, as you, is you. It is called life. And life is creative. And in order to create, it has to have an imagination. It has to be able to bring forth something in order for it to come into form and into demonstration. I've been using a kind of a metaphor this week in all of the classes and activities that I've been doing. Some of you have been there, so bear with me because we're going through it again. But what I've been talking about was this idea that everything is like a pebble. See, if a pebble is your thought and you drop it in a pond, when you do that, it creates a ripple of waves that flow out. That's what we do with our thought. We take our thought, we take our imagination, we take what we're thinking of, we drop it in a pond, and it creates a ripple.